Tesla decided to vanish the all-time high inventory immediately with these absolutely massive price cuts. We are talking, when we include the $7,500 tax credit, we are talking about a $20,000 discount to buyers for a Model Y all-wheel drive long-range model. The price was $65,990, and now it is $52,990. This is a deal. Tesla is going absolutely nuclear with this. We'll go through all of the price cuts in just a moment. They are massive. And actually, it is not going to impact Tesla's margins as much as many people think, because check this out. I know at least a couple people that ordered Model Y back in March at prices that were $7,000 below today's price. This was right before the price cut. They took delivery in November. And if you recall, right after November, Tesla cut prices for all of the vehicles to match the federal tax credits. So no one paid these super high prices anyway. At least the financials that we have seen, every single report, earnings report, did not have any of these juicy margins in the earnings reports. We will see some impact to margins, of course, but not as much as people think. Also, keep in mind that a lot of the commodity prices are actually coming down. For example, lithium has been dropping steadily. Tesla also lowered the price for the Model 3 rear-wheel drive from $46,990 down to $43,990. And now also the performance version is eligible for the tax credit as well, the $7,500 credit. The Model Y performance, however, is still over $55,000. So it is not getting that $7,500 credit. So even though here it's only something like $4,000 more, it's actually more like $11,500 more because you're not getting that tax credit if you get the performance one. For the performance version, though, there's still only an option to get the 5-seat version. There's no 7-seat version. If they just add a 7-seat version, they will qualify for that credit. So I expect that is going to happen. However, what's interesting is if I look at the Model Y long range and if I look at the 7-seater, it is now $4,000, not $3,000 that it used to be before. Legacy Auto, well, your situation has just gotten so much more worse. After the tax credit, Model Y long range all-wheel drive is now $45,500. A BMW X3 is $48,200. This is also lacking some options that come standard in a Model Y, of course. Not to mention that the Model Y is so much more faster. This is going to feel like a turtle. BMW is 6 seconds to 60 miles an hour, while the long range Model Y is 4.8 seconds. And then you compare the Model Y performance, for example, it's 3.5 seconds. And after the tax credit, if you get the 7 seats, which is $4,000 more, the Model Y performance is then $53,500. And the BMW performance one is still almost 1 full second slower and much more expensive. I'm talking $7,500 more expensive, and you are getting a slower car. Much slower. You are also getting a car that is not as safe. You're also not getting all of the fancy features, all the software that Tesla has. So when you want to go someplace, if you use built-in BMW Maps, good luck not going through a place where it will tell you to go. through a bridge that has been closed for about 7 years. This is my personal experience when I had my BMW. This was a few years ago. I never used their built-in maps. I always had to use my phone. So I chose the slower version, and see the massive screen that you get in the BMW. I mean, why would anyone want this massive screen in the middle, right? And by the way, if you would like a panoramic moonroof, and if you would like lumbar support for you as a driver, you gotta pay extra. Not really with Tesla. And you gotta pay extra, almost $2,650 if you would like rear heated seats as well. Also, if you would like a bigger screen, a heated steering wheel, panoramic moonroof, and all these other things that in Tesla, by the way, the roof is just nicer. In the BMW, you got this thing in the middle right here. In the Model Y, you have this beautiful, continuous roof. It's really nice. It feels so spacious inside. And if you get a BMW, you might as well get the most expensive wireless charger ever. With the Tesla, you get that for free. So after adding some heated seats and a slightly bigger screen and a better roof, the Model Y, even without the $7,500 credit, is now same price, except it's a lot faster, much more faster. At this point, to not buy the Tesla, you have to really like a certain thing from BMW that Tesla does not have yet. Maybe a certain kind of interior that you really like and you want to customize something. Maybe then you would still go for the BMW if you really like wasting money and getting a much slower car. Economically, the only decision when we compare these two vehicles, the only obvious decision, the only logical decision is to go with the Model Y. The case to a regular consumer was not really that obvious earlier today before the price cuts, but now there's nothing to think about. It's super obvious. Not to mention that you will get a lower insurance rate probably if you go with Tesla insurance. And pretty much everyone is eligible for the credit. You only need to make sure that you make less than $300,000 if you are a couple, or basically $150,000 if you are not married. And in the US, only 4.3% of households make over $300,000 a year. And this credit is going to be around for 10 years. It's not going away. Internal combustion vehicles are so done after today. That is in the US specifically. Last year, Model Y in the US was the 6th best-selling vehicle in the US. It might become the best-selling vehicle in the US, and I certainly believe in the world it will become the best-selling vehicle. If Tesla stock does not drop tomorrow, it will be a little bit surprising, but seeing how someone who was in Tesla stock before got out and now is going to back in, maybe that extra support from people that were bullish on Tesla before, that were not anymore, but now are turning bullish again, maybe that will be enough perhaps to start supporting Tesla stock and find a bottom for Tesla stock. But that may take a little bit of time. And I think a lot of people will want to see how is this actually going to affect Tesla's margins. So they might wait until the earnings report that we will get for this quarter. So Q1 earnings report. I am finding multiple tweets like this one saying that certain Tesla stock bulls were in cash and now they want to go back in. So let's see how Wall Street reacts, and maybe Wall Street is going to say this will be too much of a hit for margins. And Troy usually doesn't show much emotion, but if you read right here, in case you were wondering if this affects my delivery estimate for Q1, yes, it does. It is fun to see the excitement. Looking at the inventory, I don't think anyone finds this surprising. What may be surprising is how big the price cut was. So let's see what the market does. Gary says here that volume impact could offset negative margin impact. And long-term 4680 batteries, structural battery packs, that will help quite a bit too, as well as gigacastings. But tomorrow, if you see a huge buying opportunity, do not get surprised. I agree with Gary here that volume growth is more important than margins at the moment, because the more vehicles Tesla makes, the lower cost it will have for these vehicles, which will then allow for the margins to increase just by itself, basically. So there is some good strategy behind this, especially knowing that eventually full self driving is going to be solved and every one of these cars is going to have full self driving eventually. Also note that the Model Y long range price was at a low of $48,990 in March 2021. So it is still actually above that price. And here, look, in Q1 of 2021, automotive gross margin was 26.5%, and in Q2, it was 28.4%. And here are current numbers for comparison. Of course, some of the commodities are more expensive right now, but everything is coming down. So especially long term, I don't think this is going to be an issue at all. And these are 48 reasons why I only own Tesla stock in my stock portfolio. My name is Matt Posius. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.